welcome to all of you. A huge thank you to all of the people who submitted a video. We are so happy that we were able to engage with youth and schools and hopefully, really bring about a greater understanding of what human trafficking is and how it affects people across the world, the country, in your hometown, maybe even in your school. So we really hope that, and we hope to continue with, activities like this to be able to grow that understanding. We really do think that prevention is key. And we know that providing education is on the subject of human trafficking is key to prevention. So U.S. Catholic Sisters Against Human Trafficking is in its 10th year. It's our big birthday. We have some exciting things planned for later this year, including our 10th anniversary conference. It's actually being hosted in Chicago, September 28th to the 30th. So that's a huge thing coming up for us. We are a network of a variety of different organizations, congregations, individuals across the country who are interested in ending human trafficking and doing that, approaching human trafficking through the areas of advocacy, education, and access to survivor services. So we really work on it's kind of our three-legged stool, and we work toward our goal of ending human trafficking. We also have a international tie-in. We are the U.S. member for Talitha Kum, which comes out of the UISG in Rome, which is an exciting acronym for really the congregations of vowed religious life working toward ending human trafficking. So that is their organization, and we are the U.S. member. And I don't know, Marianne, Sister Marianne, maybe you have something to add to that I'm missing. That's a very brief 5-second introduction to who we are, but like I said, we are incredibly blessed to be here with all of you. Thankful for all of the participants, all of the people who submitted videos. Thanks especially to our education and resources working group who really put together this entire experience. Thanks to Teresa, our program director, and to all of our judges and to all of our participants. So thank you. And I think we're going to go to Sister Marianne for prayer, and she is going to put the prayer on the screen.
There we go. All right. There you go, Sister.
Okay, Creator Spirit, we give thanks for all those present at the St. Bakita Human Trafficking Youth Video Contest Award Ceremony. We celebrate each student who used their creative energy and gifts to produce the videos we will view this evening. You alone know the power of our presence this evening to bring light to the scourge of human trafficking. We pray that at least one person be saved from becoming a victim of exploitation and trafficking, because we join in honoring our student videographers. We pray for the women and men, girls and boys who are victims of human trafficking and live in fear each moment of their lives. We pray for survivors that they will not only survive, but thrive. We pray for the perpetrators of human trafficking who have fallen victim to hatred and inhumanity, that your spirit of love will transform them. And finally, we pray that each of our students present will always use their gifts and talent to do what is theirs to do to improve the common good of all. Amen.
Great, amen. Thank you so much. I am trying to get one of our participants here the link to it. So you just have to excuse me here. I would like to turn it over now to our chair of the Education Resource Working Group, and it is Jean Jacobson. Thank you, Jean.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Teresa. And just for all who are watching tonight and those who are maybe watching at a later date, Sister Mary Ann and Teresa and I and Katie are all on the Education Resources Working Group and have been for a while. And we have a group of about 15 people who gather monthly. And our goal is, as Katie mentioned, we have different working groups, but our committee is focused on education and awareness. And so we work to do that with the end goal of what's been stated earlier with prevention. And I also want to applaud each and every one of you who made a video in response to this contest. Your work is amazing, and we're so appreciative for your participation. So our working group really focuses on a couple different things. We've exhibited a lot of conferences across the country, and in doing so, we'll typically have people come up afterwards, having learned about the U.S. Catholic Sisters Against Human Trafficking and the work that they're doing, and want to have somebody come and speak to their school or to their organization or to their university or to their company or to their healthcare environment or to whomever is touched by this issue, this topic, and wants to learn more and help continue to educate and create awareness. And so we have speakers across the country who will go out and do those. We like to schedule those in advance for what specific topic and what audience people would like to have us come speak to. But know that that's something that's available to you. And we're looking to always grow that speaker network. So we continue to focus on that. We also work to put together modules. They're usually 2 to 4 pages, and they are written articles. They follow a similar format for each topic. And we work to, again, just educate and create awareness on a specific topic. It might be pornography. It might be familial trafficking. It might be there's just a host of topics. And on the Sisters website, you can go to education and you can see all the modules that are done. And we update them regularly to check for accuracy, for all the information, the data, the phone numbers, and so on and such. And they're usually published in both Spanish and English. We also work to put webinars on throughout the year, and we aim to do as many as we can, really. And again, just topics that are important to people that they don't know a lot about. And so they will come to us. We as a group might come up with some suggestions and some ideas, and then we schedule really leaders in the area of the topic that we want to educate on. Illicit massage business is one we did, the fishing industry, many of them. And so we continue to build upon those, and those are often posted to the Sisters YouTube channel, so people can watch those at their convenience or go back and learn some more. And the exhibits and conferences change for us annually. We really want to reach different audiences. We really have focused on a couple of exhibits that targeted youth this year, and you may have seen us at those, and we pass out our flyers. So some of you may have gotten the flyers at some of these exhibits, but we continue to expand on that. And then this amazing idea through some women on this screen came up with this video contest. And the goal was to reach more youth. And, thank you for responding by your submittals and your interest. And again, your work was amazing. So we wanted to reach more youth. We wanted to reach those who teach youth. And that was really the premise for us starting this. And we thought the video would be a great venue to do it. And we hope to continue it. We hope it won't be a first. It'll be one of many annuals. And that's really primarily the work that we do. Sister Mary Ann or Teresa, if you want to add anything, feel free.
No, we were just really excited to be able to get video entrance from all around the country. So people from California to DC, Wisconsin, Ohio, just all over. And so that, as a survivor myself of human trafficking, that really made me happy to see how creative these high school students were, and how exciting it is that they're invested in this, getting this awareness out to everyone. That's how we change this, and that's how we stop it, is by raising awareness, especially amongst our youth. So I do want to introduce 2 of our amazing professional filmmakers here. We have Pearl Gluck and Rob Pritt, and they helped judge your videos. and along with our working group members and then a couple survivors as well. So they're going to be chiming in after each video to share with you all some of the amazing things that they thought about their videos, maybe some suggestions if this is something that you want to do, is go on and become a filmmaker. So hopefully you guys will all get something out of this. We will be sending along certificates and then the evaluation so that you can learn from this. We are going to be doing this again this next year. So if you are not a senior, you can enter it again and share this with other kids and your students as well. So we have some of the filmmakers on here with us tonight, as well as their teachers, their advisors. And so we're super excited. With that, I think we'll get started. Everybody agree? Sound good? All right. So we are going to start with our first movie, our first video. There was 2 requirements for videos. The requirements were that they had to include the National Human Trafficking Hotline number, and it needed to be under 3 minutes long. We were going with the theme of what would you do if you were in a certain situation. So with that, I am going to start the After Hours. It is by students at Archbishop Carroll High School in Washington, D.C. And forgive me if I mess up your names. That was Kaylee Tuka Mushala, Bianca Ward Washington, Amali Smoot, Josiah Bush, Denali Thaxter, Alyssa Knox, and Avery Johnson. So bear with me here and I will see about getting that started. Oh, we'll get that one done. Hang on, this is the, let's see, try one more time here. I am not doing really well with this. Let's see. 1 second. Can everybody see that? If somebody can answer.
Teresa, it's coming up as the, from, I think it's the webinar on Indigenous communities.
We're seeing a different window than the one you want to
Yeah.
show us, I think.
Ah, okay.
It's the same thing.
Let's actually, I know what I'll do. These take a little time to load up. There we go. Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Teresa, it's muted.
Teresa, we don't hear it. We can see it, but we don't have sound.
We may not hear it because I think when you share, so stop sharing your screen, and next time you share, press optimize for sound and video. I mean, I'm not hearing it. Is anyone else hearing it?
No,
Okay. Teresa, you might want to stop share and then reshare, and this time click on optimize for video and sound and see if that works better.
we can't hear you either, Teresa.
Oh, maybe that's why too. Yeah, you should unmute, and also when you share, put in optimized for video and sound.
Is everybody able to see that?
Now we can't see it.
Hmm?
Now we can't see it.
Okay. Were you able to see any of that?
Not just
Beginning,
now.
Teresa, we could see, but we couldn't hear. And just now we could hear, but we couldn't see.
It
Okay.
also looks like, I think you might be, looks like your face is frozen.
It is. I see that. Let me try this.
And did you hear what Pearl's suggestion was?
No.
Pearl, would you mind
Saying,
repeating?
when you share
Mm-hmm.
screen, this time, click on the optimize for sound and video. You have that option on the bottom when it says share.
Okay. Let me
Opens a window, and then it will allow you to pick optimized for video and sound.
advance. Is it under the advanced sharing?
No, there's a little like on the bottom.
For video?
No, if you go to share screen
Mm-hmm.
and then if you look at the bottom of you have all the screens that you can share, but if you look lower below those screens, there's a little box you can click that says optimize for video.
It won't let me click that box.
Okay.
You know what? I think, let's see, this is on. Original sound for musicians is on. I know that helps. Also, when you share, let's see, someone is helping me here. You can mute yourself, otherwise it mutes the thing. Oh, you can't mute yourself. Maybe that's what was happening, was I was muting myself. Okay. Let me try this one more time. Could you all see and hear that?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, we'll start this again then. Sorry.
Hey Alex, what are you still doing here? Hey, I lost my keys in my car, so I'm trying to get roadside assistance. Do you need a ride? No. I feel like I'm gonna find something. I'll help me get my keys on my car. So,
Your mom's not coming in, or?
no, I texted her, so she knows what's going on. I'll be
I
fine.
think there's no room. Yeah. Yeah, okay, we're coming. We're coming. All right. Bye. That was my room. Yeah, we gotta go.
I'll see you guys Monday.
All right. Bye. Hope you get home safe.
Thanks.
Hey, sorry. You locked your keys out of the car?
Yeah, I do.
You got somebody to help? Or?
Well, I'm trying to find a roadside company to.
Oh, no. Don't worry about that. My friend Elijah, I'll hook you up with him. I'll get you a good deal on that here. This is number there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just
Thank
give
you
him
so
a
much.
call and he'll
All right.
help you out.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, it's me. I got a girl for you. It's about 16, 17. Nice smile. She can get you an easy $100,000. Nah, she's on her phone. She's totally distracted. She's not paying any attention. Yeah, go in.
Hey,
Hey, you Elijah?
yes, how's the music? It's probably.
Hi, Alex.
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you, but not see you.
Yes,
That's
okay.
frozen.
Huh, I don't know why. Well, we'll just keep continuing. So that was After Hours. So Pearl and Rob, would you like to say a few words about this wonderful video?
Rob, do you want to start?
Uh, sure. I was pulled in. I really thought this is really good storytelling. I really believed in the performances too. I think you've got good performances out of the people that were in your video. And I also like your use of black and white. I thought that was really effective and powerful. I love plus the title card at the end. I thought was very clever the way you turned that. I think you could use more coverage. That's what we call just running the scene again and coming in with different angles, close-ups, so that when you go to edit it, you've got more choices and, for your final film. It also helps get the viewer more involved in the story. But overall, I thought it was really good. It was a really good film. Great job.
Yeah, I agree. My perspective is more from a documentary background, and I've just gotten into fiction in the last few years, and I myself did a film on trafficking that combines both doc and fiction. And I was really touched by the way that you as filmmakers used the reality of your own lives and where you are, like you're in high school, and what are things one can look out for, and what are ways you're pretty much innocent in all of this, and yet somehow predators will find that one crease where they can sneak into and just be horrible. And I think this film really pointed that out very powerfully. So I totally agree with what Rob said about coverage, but I also think all of you as a team are on a really strong path of realizing what you can do with a camera and how much of a difference you can make. And as you continue in your journey as filmmakers, it'll become more and more effective, learning storytelling techniques and so on, but you are well on your way. And it was the first film I watched, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a great group of films. When I saw this one, it was a great way for me to kick it off and see the incredible talent that exists around this country, and the commitment to the message and to make a difference.
Great, thanks so much. I agree with everything you said. It was really well portrayed. I really especially loved how you got the people at the school to help out and participate in it. I think that was really really neat to show that. So good job, Archbishop Carroll High School from Washington, D.C. Thanks so much. Now we're going to move on to our second entry, and it is called Final Cut, and it is by the Oshkosh High School in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And we have Sam Dick, Kimberly Bining, Zahara Boudreau, Braden Clower, Alara Lloyd, Braden McKee, Aubrey Poster, Emma Salentine, Junior Teo, Alyssa Weidenhoff, and Christina Zong. So we're going to go ahead and play this one.
Teresa, can I give a little quick technical
Yeah.
note?
Yep.
When you're done pressing play, just roll the cursor off the toolbar and then it'll disappear. And someone just called A Deal with Romeo is, I think, the name of this. Someone just put that in chat.
Yep. We have two different names on that one. Yes, a Final Cut Deal with Romeo. So can everybody see that? Now participants can see your scene.
Yeah.
Can you make full screen?
Yep.
My name is Ilar. I'm a 17-year-old student, and for the past few months, I've been in a relationship with a boy. Nothing too crazy, or so I thought. I can't really explain it, so how about I just show it to you?
What took you so long, Laura?
I'm sorry, I was eating.
I told you I was on my way. You should have been ready.
Hey, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you? I'm great. You're still single, right? Yeah. Right. There's this guy that I think you would really like. His name is Braden. What's been going on with you lately? You seem pretty off this past few months. You're breathing? It's a little more complicated. Okay, you have a bruise on your face. It's nothing, okay?
Hey, what's up?
Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, sure, come on.
I have a friend and I'm concerned that she's in an abusive relationship.
Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's go right in here. So how you doing today?
Doing okay.
There's been some of your friends that have come to me and they're concerned that you might be involved in an abusive relationship. I'm a little concerned myself.
That's not what it is.
If it's not that, what is it?
Can I just go to class?
If you want to talk, I'm here.
Thank you. Hang on, is everything okay? Okay, like, I know something's wrong. Stay out of my business. Stay out of your business, Laura. You have bruises on your face. It's fine. Everything's not fine, Laura.
Hey, Laura, what was going on between you and your friend?
Nothing much.
You got your friend involved? You're trying to leave me?
We're here to report a human trafficking crime.
We told the officers everything. Braden was arrested the very next day. I regret not reaching out sooner. I regret not screaming out against this. I didn't regret telling my best friend anything. And because of her, my voice no longer feels small. And because of her, I'm alive.
Great. Awesome. Good job there. Yay. All right. Pearl, would you want to start us off on information about comments about Final Cut, A Deal with Romeo?
Sure. I mean, again, I would say this one too, has strong storytelling. Sometimes you do decide in the cut or in advance that you're going to use voiceover. And I think that was very effective in this case. I was impressed with the technical abilities of adding the little text messages. And to be honest with you, as I kept watching these, and this will come up a few times, I don't think I was aware of how much you in high school are exposed to both sides of this issue. And I was relieved to know, at least in both of these, that there is someone at school you feel you can go to. And that was really good for me to see. And also, I think what was very effective about this particular storytelling piece was even they can sometimes not do as much as you might want them to. And it truly takes a village to make a difference and to keep noticing signs and to call out for help and to break through the manipulations and enforcements that predators use with people. So I thought that was very powerful in this one as well. So, and the camera work was notable. So good work on that.
Thanks. Rob?
Yeah, I have to agree with, of course, everything that Pearl said. I do think as well, watching these, you know, you definitely know that the whole school has been involved, not just in the production of your films, but in the awareness of human trafficking. And just that, you know, is enough to know that you've kind of won before you even started rolling, so to speak. I thought, but like Pearl said, as far as the technical aspects of this film, I thought the production value, so to speak, looked really good. I mean, right off the bat, when it started out, the first shot, I'm like, wow, okay, this, you know, this, I'm in good hands. So it was a really great team. We've got a lot of people on this film, so there'd be a lot of people around the podium when you get your award. So it looks great. Again, coverage. This is a perfect example of, say, the scene at the desk. You've got great over the shoulder shots. I think that teacher was pretty intense. I think I really liked his performance. All the performances was great, but he was kind of a no BS guy. All the acting was great. The messages were clear and well thought out. But yeah, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed this.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I liked how the use of people from the school and got involved in this video as well. So I thought it was a very good. It was a tough one. And for you students who are on here and these are your videos, feel free to look in the chat because we have some people in there making some really cool comments about your videos there as well. So thanks so much. All right, we are going to move on to our third video. And it is by Judith Kukol. I hope I pronounced that right. She is from Woodlands Academy in Lake Forest, Illinois.
My name is Judith, and I'm going to be talking about human trafficking, which is a global problem often known as modern-day slavery. Labor trafficking is when an individual is being forcibly working with little or no pay in a factory, domestic servitude, or manual labor type industry. Sex trafficking is when an individual is induced into the commercial sex trade by force, fraud, or coercion. Human trafficking can happen to anyone and can happen anywhere. Human trafficking is the world's mothers, daughters, sisters, and sons. In 2021, over 10,000 human trafficking cases were reported, and over 13,000 calls were received from victims and survivors. California, Texas, and Florida had the highest number of cases reported. Most victims are recruited online. Human trafficking is known to happen in 5 stages: luring, grooming, coercion, exploitation, and recruitment. What can be done about this? What can you do? Realize the trafficker can be anyone: men, women, relatives, and even friends. Be perceptive. Is the person avoiding eye contact, lacking personal possessions, working excessively long hours, or seems malnourished? Know who is at risk. Is the person in an unstable living situation, facing poverty, a recent immigrant, addicted to drugs, or part of the juvenile justice system? You can break the cycle. If you see something, say something. Be their voice. Continue to educate yourself and know the universal hand signal. You must prevent, protect, prosecute, and build partnerships within our local communities. Hopefully, this video has empowered you to find your voice and speak up against human trafficking. Stay informed. You can make a difference. Support organizations that help human trafficking victims, whether that be through volunteering or financially. Hold events to raise awareness. And if you see something, say something. Know the universal signal for human trafficking. And the hotline, 888-373-7888. Pray for guidance and direction. Finally, remember St. Josephine Bakhita's Let the Oppressed Go Free sculpture, which shines light on human trafficking victims and the generational impact it has on all of us.
Hey, great job. Awesome. Wow, Judith. Okay, Rob, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think I really appreciate the work that went into this, the research. I learned a lot, and the graphics were great. The transitions were good. I think again, there's a lot of information, and that was evident. I think getting into the nitty gritty is really important, and it was almost. It's almost like there was a couple times I stopped when I first watched this. I stopped it to read some of the graphics, and almost wished that it could have gone longer, so I could have taken more in. So yeah, I appreciated all the information, and again, it was very very educational.
Great, thanks. Pearl?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Rob. And to add to that, I always tell my students, just remember, if we're looking at texts, our minds are reading it. So if we're also listening to you talking, plus you're asking us to read something, now we're battling where our attention should go. So that tweak that Rob was talking about, just so you understand the origins of that, there's nothing wrong with it. You have great information there. I learned stuff I didn't know, and I've been working on this project for years. For example, the hand symbol, I didn't know about that. So I so appreciate the work that went in as well. What I love about this particular piece is that I think people don't read as much anymore. And if you told them to read information about human trafficking, it would be really difficult. And I think the team behind this, I think you have the ability now to present information and also keep it visual. And though it doesn't have one particular story, the way we expect from a film, whether it's fiction or documentary, it does have the ability, and you have the ability as a team, to keep us engaged and learn more information. So with your graphics, as everything Rob just said, like all that beautiful research that you did and the way that you visualized it for us. So thank you so much for the work that you put into that. And that's my feedback as well.
Great. Thanks so much, Judith. I really loved the graphics. There are some new, I've like Pearl, we've done this work for a long time when we've seen the same graphics over and over. And there were some really neat graphics. And of course, I just love how you connected it to the Saint Bakita and her work. So that was wonderful. Thank you, Judith. All right. Our next one, our fourth video, is called Hi, I'm Rachel. And it is by the Catholic High School in Baltimore, Maryland, Autumn Crandall. Yes. So let me get this going here. Oops, that's the wrong one. That was our last one. Sorry. Let's see. Let's try that one again. Okay.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm a 16-year-old girl and I go to Riverside High. I just started working part-time for this guy. It's a marketing company that pays well, and I get to stay here with my friends. I'm so excited. Hi, I'm Rachel. I finally started my job and I'm so excited. I'm going to my first customer. My friend Margaret was supposed to come with me, but she hasn't been around. She said that she got an offer to another company for being so great. Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm upset. I haven't been doing well in school and I feel so alone. A lot of girls keep getting promoted, but when is it going to be my turn? Hi, I'm Rachel. This is my fourth day working with the company. Girls keep getting moved. The job is great. And it's my Hi, I'm Rachel. I didn't feel like going to school today, but I can't play with the other girls. It's not fair. I feel trapped. Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm on my way to a very important meeting. He says if I do good at this meeting, then I'll get a promotion. I'm so excited.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Good. Great job. All right, Pearl, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, wow. I just remember when I was watching this, I just kept getting more and more uncomfortable. And I think this was a very successful approach to storytelling because we really don't want to watch this. And you keep wondering, is it too much? Is it too raw? And I feel like viewers are afraid of that. And the fact is that this is an incredibly horrible situation that a lot of teens are put into against their will without realizing it, thinking that's what they wanted, which only adds to the inability to get out of it, whether it's shame or the original instinct of an opportunity. And then they realize they made some wrong choices, but it's too late. And I think that this particular filmmaking team did an incredible job, and I could see the research behind it. I can see the deterioration of your character over time. The concept of having her do this kind of video journaling, and then even that's taken away from her at the very end. It's like the one thing she has left, and then that's taken away. I thought those were incredibly strong choices. So I just want to commend you for being so brave, for your actors for being so brave, particularly the young lady who plays Rachel, because this, I'm sure, was not easy to do. And I look forward to seeing what else you all do in the future, but this was a really tough one to make, and a really tough one to watch. So I thank you for not being scared to show that side.
Great, thanks, bro. Rob?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Pearl here. Definitely felt uncomfortable, and it was very personal. I really believed what was happening, to the point of it almost feeling, and Pearl would definitely know a lot about this, feeling like this was a documentary, that she surreptitiously snuck this camera in and is filming what's happening to her. So you feel like you've gone behind the scenes, and that's really what made it powerful. And you almost felt like this is what it might look or feel like, which is part of what made it feel uncomfortable, or we call like cinema verite, which is, I guess, feeling like a documentary. The realism of it was very personal. I think that was the most powerful part, and brave too. So yeah, I thought it was really really effective that way.
Yeah, great. Thanks. I did too. I like you said, it was so emotional, right? It just really gets to it. And I loved how it showed how easy it is to be entrapped by this. She was vulnerable, and she kept believing that this was really a job. And that's because these traffickers are so good at making you believe something that's not right. So I did really like that she showed how, in essence, how effective traffickers can be to make you think that this is something that it's not. So I hope that makes sense. So great. All right. Thank you again so much, Autumn. All right. Now we are going to go with our fifth video, and this is by Micah Rice, who is from Archbishop Hoban High School in Talmadge, Ohio.
Human trafficking is a prolific issue in our world today. In the United States alone, there are 14 to 17,000 people who are subject to human trafficking each year. And these numbers seem small compared to the 24.9 million people that are trafficked in the world every year. Despite this, most people fail to realize what human trafficking truly is. So what is it? It is the force or coercion to obtain some type of labor or commercial sex act, aka modern-day slavery. There are three major types. Forced labor is a crime where one makes another person work without pay. Sex trafficking involves the inducement of another individual for the purpose of sexual exploitation. Lastly, debt bondage is the pledge of a person's services as security for the repayment for a debt or other obligation. The only way we can prevent this is by recognizing the signs. One of these signs might be that a person is totally dependent on and/or is living with their employer. Another sign might be that the person has poor living conditions as a result of human trafficking. Another sign is that the conversations with this person might always seem scripted, as if they are trying to complete a business deal. Last but not least, you should look out for signs of physical abuse and/or submissive or fearful behavior. And if you see something, say something, and you could be the reason someone is freed from the crime of human trafficking. And you can do this by calling the National Hotline Trafficking Hotline number. This is 888-3737-888. Surprisingly, many people ignore the signs, as only 6% of human traffickers are caught. But what would you do?
Right. All right. Thank you, Micah, for that. Wonderful. All right. Rob, would you like to start us off?
Sure. Kind of like Judith's video. There was a lot of great information here. You could tell a lot of research went into this. I liked your use of stock photos, which brought you into the story and the information you were that we were hearing. Also, like the fact that you were using handwriting. It was almost as if we were watching this live. So again, really well researched, and appreciate all the information. It was well done.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I don't have much to add on that. The only thing I would say, point out and encourage the rest of you to continue to do in your work that this very directly did is asking a question at the end. And in film, it's what we call the call to action. So we don't want to just give it all away at the end, tie it up with a pretty pink bow, especially in this situation. So I like that you ended on a question. And I think in general, through storytelling, documentary filmmaking, and these kinds of visual presentations, I think that was a really good choice to end with a specific question. And in this case is, what would you do? And it gets us to think.
Great, thanks. Right, yes, wonderful. I loved all the facts. It's important for people to know the facts. I speak all around the country, and I've been doing that for 15 years. And it's amazing that probably 90% of my audiences still have no idea of the facts of human trafficking. So I thank you so much, Micah, for putting that in there. Very important. So, all righty, we are cruising here. We are going to move on to our, let's see, this is our number 6 video. And this one is called Purchased. And it is by Archbishop Hoban High School, another entrance here from Talmadge, Ohio, Emma Boring and Fiona Marlborough. So let's see if I can, there we go.
I'm not a toy to play with, it's not just a sight to see, and my mind is worth its weight in gold. I'm not a dime a dozen, I know my worth is more than you will ever know. Touch me, you just wanna feel me, you just wanna share me, have it all. Trust you, why don't I just trust you? You just wanna use me. Now I know. Body, I'm more than my body. Just go. I'm more than my body. I'm more than my body.
Oh, I don't know why it cut off there. All right, I'm not sure why I cut off there, but all right. So great job by Purchased by Archbishop Hoban High School. So we'll start with Pearl.
Sure. Yeah. you know, I have a lot of students now who are doing musicals. And I think we're seeing some films now that are taking some very serious subject matter and using genres that might call attention to certain audiences that wouldn't otherwise look for something about a serious subject. And I think that was really refreshing, your approach. I love the artistry of it and what you were able to do with what you had available to you. I love the concept so much. I think it brings it home immediately. And the second that hand comes out and removes the headband, we understand now why the song is there and what you're doing with the mannequins. So I thought that was super creative. At first I thought it was experimental, but then I was like, no, this is a musical. And I thought that was very strong. And I love that the actress wasn't like pained, because I think, and, you know, I think survivors talk about this often, and, you know, I'm sure Teresa does as well, like where you don't realize at the time what's going on. And, you know, so she's kind of there and she's in the moment. And then before she notices what's going on, it's too late. So that was a very strong rendition to do something like that within 2.5, 3 minutes. So thank you for that. And thanks for the freshness of the idea.
Great. All right, Rob.
Yeah, I've got to agree with Pearl on this one as far as it felt experimental to me too. I mean, and if it works that way, then great. I mean, that's what caught me from the beginning and kept me watching. I thought it was brave, very unique, a very unique approach, and I think that's the you know, I also like the use of the mannequins as props. I thought that was very powerful as well. And the look to camera at the end, wow, you know, grabbed me. So yeah, it was very personal, very yeah, I felt the emotion there, and I thought that's what made it, you know, stand out. Thanks for doing it. It was great.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, I agree with the mannequins were very powerful in it too. That's what caught my attention right away, especially as a survivor, like Pearl said. So good job there. Okay, now moving on to our video by Olivia, and I hope I'm saying it right, Young. It might be Jung, but I'm thinking it's Young. She attends the Catholic High School in Baltimore, Maryland. Oh, you know what? That was the wrong one. That was the last one of the other. Hopefully I'm not, okay, I know what I need to do.
People kind of don't pay attention to things until something hits too close to home, because then they're kind of forced to acknowledge the problem and try their best to kind of find a solution or find a way to like best help the situation. As much as I like to be involved in activities, I personally didn't know too much about it. Is it a real concern to you that some of your possessions may be involved in human trafficking? Do you actively try to avoid brands that have been connected with human trafficking? Yes, I personally, I wasn't born like in the middle class like I am now. So I kind of don't like the fact that people use human trafficking to use brands with it, because it would be supporting that, and I don't support such things. A definite concern, but because of how many brands use human trafficking, like and you know, just well-known brands, I feel like there's not really a way to avoid them. So although it does cause concern, I don't feel like I can completely avoid all brands that use human trafficking.
If you found out your favorite brand used human trafficking in the manufacturing of their items, would you stop buying from them? Why or would you?
If it wasn't something important or something incredibly large to me, then yes, I would try to find like a more humane manufacturer. But if it were, I can't really think of anything major that would make me continue to buy from the brand. But if it were something major, then I might continue. Yes, I would. Like I said, I don't like the fact that they use human trafficking. So I would, even if it's my favorite brand, I would just stop and find another brand that's better.
How bad do you think the problem of human trafficking is in Maryland? Why do you think most people don't know about it?
I feel like it's bad, especially in Baltimore, because it's just a crowded city and crowded place. And I feel like we're so busy and so like in tune into our own lives that we just put a blind eye to the whole thing until somebody brings it up, makes it a focus point.
People aren't completely knowledgeable in Maryland about the problem because it hasn't hit close to home for many people.
All right. Thank you so much, Olivia. Hey, Rob, would you like to start us off and some comments and suggestions and advice for Olivia?
You bet. I think one of the best parts of this, or what, the thing that really stood out to me is this, and what we've seen in all the other videos was, this is it's not just a personal thing. With the one question in particular, and I think that was the most powerful one about brands and how this is a corporate problem, as much as it is, not just a personal one, but things that are that problem being on a smaller level, and worldwide. So that awareness, was a big part of this. I love the fact that this was an interview format, and I love the use of interviews, which is very documentary-like. So this brings the conversation to the forefront, and that brings, obviously, strengthens the importance of this subject, and also challenges, I think, people's perceptions versus reality. The questions of what we think we know as opposed to what's actually the truth. So I thought that's what made it really good. I think as a note, if, to continue on down the line, if you're doing another piece like this, the use of you could get these very inexpensively. They're small lavalier mics that you see them a lot of times on TV. They're clipped on people that are being interviewed, and they could sync up with an iPhone or basically any kind of camera and be used with any kind of editing program. And that would help tremendously when interviewing people on camera, or at least get them into a room where they're quiet and you could really hear your subject and you have less background noise. The other thing I think that would that's important is after and this goes to, I think all of the people that are all the films, that once something is shot, it's always really smart to go back and take a look at what you shot to make sure that you've got what you intended to shoot, and then you can move on. But overall, I thought this was really great and powerful, and again, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, once again, I agree with everything Rob just said. One of the things that I look for in a documentary, and that really gets me to think, is when I watch someone thinking on camera. And I think you managed that. And it's really nice to have someone truly consider something and not have a pat answer. And so I'll add that to the notes that Rob gave you on the side that really worked for me. And the other thing, and I want to say this to everybody, I feel like what this film fully understood is that you have power in making media, and whether you end up going into journalism where you can do just this, ask people direct questions and get answers, or you go more toward documentary where you can think more about a story that drives us through it. So we want to keep listening to these interviews. It really depends on what direction you want to go in, and you already have a great start. But regardless of that, I think what all of you know, and I've seen it in the work, is that you have power, and even one person can try and make a difference. And what you've all done is picked up your cameras, or your ability to work with graphics, or the idea that content can make a difference, whether it's because you're part of the TikTok generation, or because you just have the talent and the ability to do it. I think you guys have this in the bag. And I think if you continue going in this direction, I feel very encouraged about this next generation, that you're using media to make a difference and making media that matters. So if this is a really good film to make that note on for all of you.
Yeah, that's great. I thank you guys so much for that. I do really love too that they showed this from the labor trafficking perspective of economics and what you know, a lot of people don't realize that we have power in our purchases and that we need to become conscious consumers. And that really is one of the root causes of human trafficking. And so I'm really glad that they showed this. And I really like the honesty of the one young lady who said, I don't know that I would change my habits. You know, if it was something minor, yeah, but major. And it is hard. Like, you know, being a conscious consumer is very tough. And so bringing more awareness about that, I think, is really crucial. So, so really good job, Olivia. Thanks so much for that. So, all right. So moving on here, our 8th video by Maria Hutchins. I hope I said it right, Hutchins. She is from St. Ursula Academy in Cincinnati, Ohio. And Maria made this film with Rowan Fox and Maggie Hollinsworth.
No, thank you.
Oh, don't worry. That's it. Very good.
1 week later. Here you go. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. You know, I have this meeting, you're gonna interrupt. Hey, come sit with me. My name is Brett, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
And emotionally manipulate their victims. They often bond over time to instill a false sense of trust within their victim. A trafficker can be anyone, anywhere, anytime. Force, fraud, and coercion are needed to classify a human trafficking case unless the victim is a minor.
I think I'm on with you. I use that. Thanks. Let's do this again. Yeah.
2 months later.
Dude, guess what? What? I'm hanging out with Brad later tonight, and I told my parents I'm staying at your house. Can you cover for me? I don't know. It's really sketchy. This is like the 4th time you've asked me to do this in the past week, and you've only been seeing him for what, 2 months now? Yeah, so he's not like that. You don't know him like I do. Fine, but this is the last time. Thank you so much.
Later that night.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, can you
Thanks for picking me up. What restaurant are we going to?
Actually, I was thinking about going to a place where me and my friends usually hang out.
What type of place?
It's a really cool place where you can make some money.
What do you mean?
It's nothing much, just some easy cash. We can split the paycheck. It's really simple. How about we try it tonight?
I don't know. What would I have to do?
All you have to do is be yourself, dance a little. Don't worry. It's really easy. You said you're a good dancer, right?
I guess I am. Sure, if you say so.
What would you do if your loved one was in this situation? If your loved one is experiencing human trafficking, please contact the National Human Trafficking Hotline number 888-363-788.
All right. Thank you so much, Maria. And we will start with Rob on his comments.
Okay. Yeah, what I really thought this film showed, as well as a lot of the films that we've seen, but this in particular was really well done, and that's the use of perceived kindness, the abuse of someone's trust. I think that's so key here, and the casting of her friend, or we think it's her friend, is he's such a friendly presence, and you could see how you could get pulled in. And I think the casting there was great. I think that you guys got everybody to participate is really fantastic. It's something that it's fantastic. But that conflict of abusing someone's trust and also with going to her friend is what particularly made this powerful for me. I think the filmmaking was good, and again, the story was it pulled me in. It was very, very powerful. I felt for her, and also the the call to action as far as is this would you let this happen? So yeah, very good, very fantastic.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, no, of course, I agree. And this is what I was saying earlier, where I feel like a lot of you, and Rob was talking about this too, like have used your friends in this and have pulled together at high school and looked at some of those real issues that you might be facing and almost calling these predators on their tricks. Like, we're seeing you and we're going to battle against these little tricks that you use. I think something that I feel like you really tapped into in this film as a team is the fact that as teenagers, obviously you cover for each other, right? And there's that knowledge that predators have that that's done. And unfortunately, you're no longer up against just hiding stuff from your parents because you want to do one or two fun things and you don't want them to know about it. Now you're up against the reality of the behavior of predators out there. And unfortunately, they're using that at your age, this desire to keep things to yourself, this trying to figure out what it's like to be an adult right now. And they're using that against it. So of course, and I agree with Rob, that was for me, the strongest scene is where the friend's like, fine, I'll cover you, but it's the last time. And also in the car where I agree with Rob, like your casting was really good with the quote unquote boyfriend. He looks totally innocuous, like the sweet guy. Of course, he's, tapped by whoever's above to make sure he gets he gets the girls with his sweetness and so on. And you said you like to dance, right? So yeah, it's no big deal. We could split it, and that's not how it starts, but that's somewhere in the arc of the grooming, right? So again, I keep saying this, but I'm just heartened that you as high school media makers and difference makers and activists are aware of these tricks and you're aware of how to call attention to them. And I also thought this was really well done. I'm going to give you the same tip Rob gave a previous film, which is imagine if you did have microphones for those first couple of scenes, we would have immediately gotten drawn in. We were already drawn in, obviously, both because of subject and because we care about what you have to say as our next generation, but it'll strengthen as you get more and more trained in the technology of the filmmaking world. But really well done, and kudos to you.
Great, thanks. And I do want to say, like, this one really touched me because I'm not sure how many of you all realize that I'm a survivor and was trafficked during high school as well. And that it can be such a simple act like meeting somebody over coffee, that can really lure you in. And, if it sounds too good to be true, it is, so I love how they really showed that it can be anybody, and because it can be, unfortunately. So thank you, I guess it was Maria and Rowan and Maggie for making this. Thanks so much. All right. So now our next video is called Traffic, and it is by Ariella Borges, and she's from Holmdel, New Jersey.
Teresa, I'm so sorry, but we can't hear it, or at least I can't.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if you want to reshare and press that optimize again.
Yep. Let's see. And there's Did everybody hear that one?
No.
No. Oh my goodness. Sorry. So you could see it, but you couldn't hear it.
Right.
Ah, okay.
I mean, it's compelling visually.
I know, it really is. Yeah. Okay. I just turned this. I'm gonna start it from the beginning. Okay, no sound. Let's try this again. Obviously, I am not a filmmaker and I am not good at running videos. All right. You can see it. Can you hear that?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, great, great, thank you. Great. All right. Sorry it took me so long to get that one there. But yes, wonderful. We'll start with Rob.
Wow. I mean, that was that's a powerful was a powerful film. I loved it. I mean, it's hard to say I loved it because these are so it's such a heavy subject. But bravo, Mariella. Again, I could feel your confidence as a filmmaker. And you know what's amazing, and it's again with all of these, is your use of locations. It's so resourceful. You know, obviously, I'm imagining you got location permits to be at these places, but the way the use of them and being able to shoot there and feel like this is a movie I'm watching, a film I'm watching, was you know really worked. So the storytelling was fantastic, and I think the message, the feeling that you're the observer here was what really made this also made this really work. Putting yourself in that young woman's shoes and watching what's happening, and in the beginning not being able to do anything was very powerful. And also the fact that this trafficker is walking through a public space with this girl and no one else is doing anything. So the fact that this could go on in public and people would be blind to it was another very powerful part of the film. I think you have a future as a filmmaker. I was really impressed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys check out these chats. There's people making some really cool comments on here for you. So go ahead, Pearl.
Yeah, I'll actually build on one of those comments that Mary Lechtenberg made about not needing dialogue. Ariel, I agree with Rob. You have a very deep awareness, whether you're aware of it or not, of how to tell pictures visually and with sound without using a line of dialogue. So I say hallelujah and keep going, because you're going to make a big difference in our world with your films. But you know, one of the hardest exercises for my students is a 3-minute film that they have to make with no dialogue. And so many people have a hard time understanding that. And I feel like you just instinctively did that with this film. I totally agree with Rob. I love that your focus was on the bystander who turns into an upstander. And I think, and in a way, I'm really glad that we don't know what happens at the end, because unfortunately, there's only so much we can do. And as Teresa and so many other people who have been in the system, have been forced into it, they can tell you there's so many steps to the process. But knowing something, seeing something, suspecting something, and doing something, sometimes that has to be all you can do, and it in itself is powerful. So this to me was a very strong knowledge is power film. And of course, as a New Yorker, I feel like you got, this is other exercises we do in film school. It's called a sense of place and a sense of action. And somehow with your camera work, I just felt like I was there. I felt like I understood how this person felt about what they were doing without you telling me with words. And I thought that was very strong. And what it has in common for me with the others, and Rob talked about this too, is y'all are realizing that you have power behind your cameras, and you have power making media, and you can either do it in your high schools or at the subway station or wherever. And if you have something to say, you're already on your way to say it. So really congratulations to all of you for doing that. And Ariella, I totally agree with Rob on this. I think you should absolutely continue in this direction for telling stories and making a difference.
Yeah, great. And I hate to harp on it again, but as a survivor, Ariel, I really loved how the actress, when that moment when she decides, oh, heck no, I've got to do something about this. And she has this look on her face like, oh man, I got to tell somebody. And as a survivor, we always wish that there was that person there in our lives that was there to, I don't want to say rescue, but go and say, oh, I saw something and this was so wrong. Even if I'm not correct, like I've got to do something about this. So I really loved that you showed that, and that you showed the actions piece of somebody going and doing something about it. And that's something that we definitely need more of in film work, is not just the horribleness and the sensationalness of trafficking, but the action piece. So I really appreciate you showing that. So thank you so much. All right. We have 2 left here. So we have number 10 is a video by Mayfield Senior High School, and they are in Pasadena, California. And it is Victoria, and I hope I'm getting this right. I think it's Victoria Pereira and Aaron Michelina. So let's see.
Human trafficking is a major issue worldwide today. However, in America, we do not normally understand the extent of this issue because a lot of us are not directly affected by the danger of trafficking daily. However, in so many third world countries, citizens, especially women, are in danger every day of becoming trapped into a cycle that is human trafficking. My name is Erin. And I'm Chloe, and we attend Mayfield Senior School in Pasadena, California. We believe that empowering women and changing views on societal norms is the main way that we can attempt to decrease human trafficking rates. Society allows for harmful ideologies about the worth of women to be instilled within girls starting at a young age, which makes them question their worth and feel as if they are objects. This harmful way of thinking is what causes so many women to get trapped within the cycle of human trafficking, and it prevents them from feeling empowered enough to reach out for help or attempt to break free of the cycle. We need to attempt to change this way of thinking in society to convince women of their worth and dignity, because we believe that every single human being has dignity no matter who they are or where they come from. International governments also have a huge responsibility in lowering human trafficking rates, as they have so much potential to make change through the creation of laws that help women get out of trafficking situations or get the support that they need to make adequate money and alternative jobs. If governments worldwide implemented laws, they would be an active advocate in helping lowering human trafficking rates and in turn helping millions of people worldwide exit these treacherous cycles of abuse. When governments know about this problem yet do nothing to help, they are actively aiding the exploitation and abuse of millions of people. We decided to get involved in helping combat the issue of human trafficking because we believe that human trafficking is an exploitation of dignity and is therefore inhumane to participate in the trafficking or exploitation of anyone. Every person was created by God and therefore has a worth and a purpose. However, when perpetrators are using God's creation as objects and entities to benefit themselves, they are directly contrasting and interfering in God's plan for that person and are incredibly disrespecting his creation. We believe that it is our duty and responsibility to help protect God's creation by raising awareness about this issue, which will in turn help so many innocent people experience life the way God intended for them. During our sophomore year of our all-girls Catholic high school, we read a book in history called Half the Sky by Nicholas Kristof and Cheryl Dunn. This book focuses on the abuse and exploitation that millions of women go through worldwide, and it helped open our eyes to the extent in which human trafficking severely damages women. All of our classmates that read this book unanimously agreed that reading this book was an amazing opportunity for us to become more aware of the struggles of women and the horrifying aspects of human trafficking. If more schools implemented this book or similar books that help educate and aware human trafficking, we would be able to empower so many more people to help combat this issue. Thank you for listening, and remember, if you or anyone you know needs help, call the Human Trafficking Hotline number 1-888-3737-888. Thank you. Thank you.
All righty. Great. Pearl, would you start us off on this amazing video?
Sure. First of all, is it okay if I read? I think it's Chloe Long and Aaron Michelin, right? Whose film this is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think Victoria Pereira was part of the group, the
Ursula
Academy group. They just shared that in chat.
Yes.
So to this team, this goes back to what I was saying earlier about you being from this kind of TikTok generation and understanding this whole new area where you can make content that matters, right? So this is where whether it's on TikTok or other places where, again, people are not going to read your well-written manifesto of care, right? You have done research, you have read this book, you want to talk about what you care about. But if they watch you and they listen to you say these things, I think this is the strength of this piece. And I can see, like, when you think about trendsetters and you want them to be trendsetters for good, whether it's on Instagram Live or whether it's on TikTok or wherever else, I'm sure there's a new thing out there. This is where you can make a change, being two young people who care about what's going on and have a point of view on it. So I just so appreciate that you shared your voice and are trying to make a difference by turning a camera on it.
Rob?
Yeah, I have to totally agree with Pearl again on this. It's unlike the last film, and this is a totally different approach. You have to listen, and unless you turn up the sound, you're not going to hear what's being said. And what's being said, again, is incredibly powerful. You've got great information, of course, but most importantly, you're keeping the conversation going and calling for change, and which I think is the main message here. And also, if nothing's going to happen, I mean, if nothing is done, nothing's really going to happen. And so in a call to action, getting involved. And I would say though, you could still listen to this almost and and you're going to get the same message. But if you, as a suggestion, you could have put some stock footage in or B-roll, like cutaways to some of the stuff you're talking about, which would have kept it a little bit maybe more visually interesting. But overall, really informative and good piece of and a really good video.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I really liked how they brought God into it. I thought that was really nice about, pointing out that this is not, God does not intend for this to happen. So I really appreciate you, doing that. So thanks so much, everyone. And that was Chloe and Aaron. So great. All right, we're on to our last video, and then we are going to announce some winners. Though everybody is a winner for doing these. These are all just absolutely fantastic. So our last video is by Beatrix, and she is at Carrollton School of the Sacred Heart in Miami, Florida. So, oops, I'm sorry. Let's try this one again.
Bro, I'm talking to this girl. She's a dime, bro, and she's a freshman in high school. When are you gonna see her? I'm gonna go pick her up from school right now.
Yes, okay, just a second. Hi, sweetie. How was the library? All right. Great. Good job. Wow. That's such eerie music. Wow. Pearl, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is reminds me a little about the what we talked about with Hi, I'm Rachel, and a lot of the conversation about people who don't know what signs are, or ways in which as teenagers we're hiding things from whoever's taking care of us, our parents, guardians, whatever, and thinking, they're trying to be cool, right? They're trying to let their kid actualize their adulthood. And here she's getting into the situation. As Teresa was saying, it starts totally quote unquote innocently, and it's just a coffee. And the next thing you know, something horrendous has happened. So I think this too took that immediate first person perspective of that. I think especially for your generation, it was really good to see the back and forth via text. A lot of your communication happens via text, and it's all kind of quick and back and forth. And old people like myself, it takes me a much longer time to kind of go through those, and I really appreciated the reality of that. So again, what I had said about the other film that's so first person and in the moment, that was very brave, and it was, I think, a strong way to use media. And to put it as if it's happening on TikTok. And, that's a way you access, we talked about this with the musical piece, with the mannequins. That's a way to access an audience that may not otherwise be looking for material about either human trafficking or activism. So, I'm really glad that you did that and you made that choice as a filmmaker.
Great. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, boy, the shot of mom at the end just killed me. I mean, it says so much that the people that you want to comfort you, or and so many times in our life we want to turn to that person that is going to help us out. They don't know what we're going through, and after, as a viewer, we watched what's happening here. She walks to the door and her mother has no idea what's happened, and it's tragic, and it gets right to the heart of this. um yeah, I was moved by that. I really was. I thought that was a really, really powerful part of the most powerful part of the film. I think, as Pearl said, the texting is storytelling. That's where we're at right now, and I think that makes it made this even more relevant and powerful. Like we're so used to looking at our phones and having conversations that way, but telling a story, and we're seeing that a lot more in film and television. I think that really works, and we really feel like you're eavesdropping, particularly in the beginning with the conversation between the two guys. Even though we mentioned this before about mics and hearing what's being said, you don't need to really hear what's being said. It's important what they're saying, but it just felt real to me. Again, like we're eavesdropping. So I think it was really good, and it's too bad that we have to judge these and award winners and such. But that is the nature of film festivals, and it keeps people. If it gets people to make more films in video and media, then so be it. It's fantastic. But you're all winners here. You really are, and I'm not just saying that. I think everything here, all the films here were fantastic. And thanks for participating.
Yeah, I want to add to that also. I'm so glad you said that, Rob. Like I said it before about the fact that you've even done any of this is already a winner. I just want to add one more thing that I noticed about all of your work. You did not use a sensationalist approach. I just remember my grandmother who was a survivor of the Holocaust, I would ask her about watching Holocaust films, and she said no, because they're killing us over and over again on screen. And what none of you did is to take advantage of the fact that some of this trafficking could be something that sells more because it's got this kind of appeal to it. They say sex sells, right? And you didn't go there, and therefore no one was re-victimized in that way on screen. And what you showed was the steps before and potentially some of the steps after, and the ways in which some of this can actually happen and what are things we can do about it. And boy, I agree with you, Rob, that chilling shot of the mother, I think, fits right into there. And the fact that you chose to make the victimization piece, the fact that she's drugged and when she's abused, that particular part is super dark. I think that was a really good choice in this one. But really, to all of you, I agree with Rob. It's such a hard thing to have to judge films like this when you're all doing such great work. But I also agree, especially as someone who runs a film festival, as someone who makes films, like being in these competitions just make us stronger and stronger as media makers and difference makers. So we're hoping it'll have the same effect on all of you, but you really are all winners. So I agree with Rob on that.
Great, thanks so much. And Pearl has an announcement of a future of an upcoming film festival, and she is going to put it in the chat. But would you like to tell everybody about the other high school one?
Sure. About 4 years ago, we started a film festival here in central Pennsylvania, and there's a high school part to it. So I'm going to put in the chat the link. You can apply. If there's any changes you want to make to your film, you still have a little time, but you don't have, I'm not saying you have to do that, but please do apply. There are prizes as well, just like every other film festival. So I'm going to put it in there, and it's through Film Freeway. So that'll teach you a little bit about how the industry works when you're trying to apply to film festivals. And so, because it'll ask you all these questions that you're always going to need to know about your own films in the future, like why you made it, who you are as a director, and what are the stills that you want them to use, and so on. So again, congratulations to all of you. And it would be wonderful for you to submit your film to our festival. And there's other high school film festivals as well.
Yeah, great. And like I said, we're going to be redoing this again next year. So, and I can just let you know the films for us will be due on January 11th, 2024, which is actually National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. And then the award ceremony will be on the actual St. Bakita Day, which is February 8th. So lots of opportunities for you all to keep going and do amazing work on this. We just are the Education Resource Working Group at the U.S. Catholic Sisters Against Human Trafficking. Really appreciate all the hard work that you guys put into this. So, so for now, for the drum roll here, we have to announce our amazing winners. And like we said, you all are winners. We love them all. There's been a couple different people on here that want to show them all to everyone. So keep up the good work. So let's see. I'm going to try and figure, let's see, add a spotlight. Okay, all right, there we go. So, and if you would like to say a few words when I announce the winners, then just please raise your hand and I will see it. And then I can unmute you so that you, your teacher or anybody, any of that made the movie, you can say a few words if you'd like. So, so we have 2 honorable mentions. They both did amazing. Oh, just to let everybody know, there was 260 points possible that students could get for this. And they were judged on a connection. Did we feel like we were connected to the story? Was it memorable and creative? Was it original and innovative? It had to have a logical solution component. And then the production, the video and the sound. So all of those things went into the judging, and we had over 20 judges, and so it was really a great turnout here too. We were really happy with 11 videos. So for honorable mentions, our first honorable mention is St. Ursula Academy, Maria Houchins, and I know now I have this right now, Rowan Fox, Maggie Hollingsworth, and Victoria Pereira. Good job. You guys have an honorable mention. You received 184 points on your video. So good job. Way to go. And again, if anybody would like to say a few words, just raise your hand here and I will make sure that happens. So it's always interesting for us to learn like why you wanted to make this. All right, Victoria, I see your hand is written up here. I think you were, can you speak now there, Victoria? It says talk, I said that, Teresa, can you name the video? There you go, Victoria.
Hi, so we just made this video actually for our social justice class, like final project. So we were just like, the course of the class was focused around like learning about human trafficking and the issues surrounding that. So it was really important to us to like put very important topics that we learned about in the video and different situations that we learned about that happen to every high schooler. So we just wanted to like share what we learned in an effective and like informative way. So, thank you.
Great. Thanks so much. And they are from St. Ursula Academy in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yay, I got my Buckeye representation there. So wonderful. And so next up, our next honorable mention here is Woodlands Academy, Judith Cocao, and I know I'm slaughtering your last name. Sorry so much here, but and that was the video by Judith. So she's from Lake Forest, Illinois. So some of them didn't have names to the films. So just to let you all know, it was by Judith. So hopefully she can say a few words. I know she's on here for sure, and her mom too. So okay, I'm gonna allow you to talk. Great, go ahead, Judith.
Yeah, I originally created the video just for a class I was in, and like found out about this competition through my church, and they said if you have a video, think about submitting it. So yeah, I wasn't expecting much from it, but it was really great seeing everyone's video and all the hard work that went into them.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks so much. Yeah, I remember you have doing it part of your church that you saw it at. So thanks so much. And Judith got 200 points out of 260. So good job, Judith. So, all right. We do have another surprise prize here. So Pearl was so moved by one of the films that she wants to give a special jury prize. So would you like to announce who that is, Pearl?
Yeah, and I would say with your permission, Rob, but as we both agreed, everyone's a winner. But the first person narrative, in the first person narrative category, I would say it would be my honor, our honor, to give a special jury prize to Hi, I'm Rachel. And hopefully this will encourage you to keep making films that tell first person stories. So thank you for that.
Yeah, so that was Autumn Crandall from the Catholic High School in Baltimore, Maryland. So good job on that. If you would like to just say a few words, please feel free. It was a really, really moving film. So great. All right, and then moving on here, we have, all right, third place. And third place, they receive $500. So, and all of these are divvied up between all the people that were involved in making it. So third place got 203 points out of 260. All right. And that is Archbishop Carroll High School After Hours. So they are in Washington, D.C. Good job, guys. Wonderful. Oh, so third place. It was just absolutely fantastic. So if any of you guys would love to speak on that, feel free to raise your hand and I can unmute you. Oh, here I see Kylie. All right. Go ahead, Kylie.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much. We want to, on behalf of the whole team, we want to say thank you for the opportunity to express the story. We learned a lot about human trafficking in the process, and God played a huge role in our film. So all the credit really goes to him, and we wouldn't have been here if he hadn't guided us in it. Everyone on our team, they were so flexible and creative. They articulated their ideas through some uncomfortable circumstances during filming, but it created the film that you all saw today. And our advocacy does not and will not stop here. We understand that us youth have so much power to change the world, and we want to be a part of that change. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We have somebody else that would like to speak too. Go ahead. I think you're muted. Is ever calling in on the phone and wanted to speak? I have to unmute yourself. It probably is hard doing it on the phone there. So I think it's somebody else from their team. All right, well, we'll wait till you get unmuted here and go on. So thank you guys so much. What a great job that your school did. So wonderful. All right, moving on to second place. These students receive $750 for second place. Hopefully that will motivate you to keep moving and keep making amazing videos. So our second place winner received 237 points out of 260. And it is Oshkosh High School, A Deal with Romeo. Way to go, everyone. Good job. All right, and please, if you want to say something, go ahead. I know I got some Oshkosh people on here. All right, Seal, let's see. There we go.
Hello, I'm Sam Dick. I'm the director. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. It was a ride for sure. We were working on this for like 3 to 4 months. We've got our entire crew here basically. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. I can't say thank you enough. We're all very on edge.
Yeah, for sure. A few things I would like to say. I'm Kimmy Binning. I was the editor and cinematographer for this film. So when I heard you give the good feedback about the text bubbles and about the over-the-shoulder shots, I was really ecstatic because as like a junior filmmaker, it like warms my heart to hear that actual filmmakers kind of like
I don't know,
Enjoyed
enjoyed my filmmaking. It's like an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much.
Yes. Would anybody else like to say?
So-
Yeah, go ahead.
So hi, I'm Bray Clower. I'm the guy who actually was the abuser in the film. But when this idea was first proposed to us, I didn't think it would ever go this far. I didn't really think that we would win. I just thought it would be a great opportunity to bring light to an issue that is prolific in Wisconsin from where we're from. But considering that we did so well and impressed you so much that we got the leaderboard, I'm really happy to have done this. Like it was a great time.
Great. Thanks so
Hi,
much.
can I say something as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Ilara. I played like
Main character.
Yeah, the survivor basically. And I just wanted to thank you guys for giving us an opportunity to be a part of this film festival in general and reviewing our film and thinking it was as good as it was. We really, really, really appreciate your like input and everything that you said to us. It helped us out and boosted our confidence, definitely. And we just want to say thank you for allowing us to do this. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys.
Okay, now we know that first place is really, really wanting to know who they are. So
Yeah, good job on getting second place. You guys did fantastic. So, and now we will move on to first place. So the first place winner received 257 points out of 260. 3 points off from perfect score. And the first place winner is the video Traffic by Ariel Borges from Holmdel High School in New Jersey. So way to go. First place. Ariel wins $1,000 for her video. So I know, I hope that she is on here. We would love to hear from you. All right. Here she is. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you guys so much. I'm so happy. I'm so like thankful that you guys even made this like contest because like it gave filmmakers like me an opportunity to kind of have content and some like to share our voice on an important issue in the world right now. And my mom's friend, Nadine, told me about this festival because she's involved in the Catholic Church, and I kind of didn't know what I was gonna do at first, but after attending your video kind of like teaching us about human trafficking and kind of like the signs and everything to look for, it kind of made me more interested, and I started to research the issue. And I'm honestly surprised that we're not taught more about it in school and everything, because it seems to be just all around, and that we should know the signs, like men who have like keys dangling or suspicious looking things just to look out for. So I was so happy to be able to bring that to life, and did not think that didn't anticipate it winning or anything, but I am just so proud and happy. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Ariel. It was just so much. Go ahead, Rob.
I was just going to say thank you. I mean, thanks for doing what you did, and it was great to watch. You guys all have a future in filmmaking, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Keep making movies, everyone, and be in touch with all of us here in the industry. We are part of your network now, and we would love to keep hearing about what you're doing and how you're moving the mountains that need to be moved.
Absolutely. I believe that this generation, you guys are going to be the ones to be able to stop this once and for all. So I have faith in all of you that you can do that. And you just exhibited it here today by your passion and talents. And I love how one of the guys said, we didn't even think, that this would go anywhere, and look what you did. So by working together, it was amazing. So as a survivor, I thank you for that as well. And because you all did such an amazing work. So I am going to ask you all of you winners to, actually all of the students, to email me your names and addresses so that we can send you the certificates of accomplishment. We also have obviously the checks for winning for second and third. And then I am donating to each one of your schools a copy of Slavery in the Land of the Free, which is my book that is for middle and high school students on human trafficking. And it's a great educational book. So we'll be donating those to you guys as well. So if Katie is still on here, or Jean, if anybody would like to say some closing words.
I am here and I would love to. We are so proud of you. We are so grateful to all of you. Thank you so much for your submissions. Thank you for your time. I just can't say enough from the board of directors and myself. We so appreciate the work that you've done. We appreciate the work that you will do. And we know that you will do great things. So thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thanks, Jean. You want to close us out?
I would just add, your talent, your hard work, I never thought this would happen. Your dedication, your awareness to this issue. I think having invested yourselves and your time in this video and in this process, to hear you say how it's really made you even more committed and even more working towards advocacy and education and awareness. And for that, we all thank you. And we look forward to your work next year.
Yeah, pass it
Thank you.
along. So I'm putting my email in the chat here for you all so that you can email me and your information. So thanks once again, everyone. Yeah, make sure that you see the movie The Turnout. It's Pearl's movie it's a docu-fiction, which actually is a survivor friend of mine that's in that film. And it is, I believe, on Amazon. It's called The Turnout. And it is a really great film to watch on human trafficking. So, all right. Well, thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and congratulations again to you all. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.